नमस्ते सरस्वदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। लेट्स ऑल चैंट टुगेदर। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
You can give me one of those papers. One is
Does everyone have this paper? If you don't have, can you lift your hand? Yeah. Yeah. Can I have the most active boy here to please come here and help me? So your good name? Sanjay Prabhu ki jai. So he's going to get some papers. Please lift your hand. And does every one of you have Bhagavad Gita as it is? Yeah? The book? Okay. And does every one of you have the basics of Bhagavad Gita? Lift your hand if you don't have it. Yeah. So I humbly request, if you don't mind, just come over once and take that and go. They have brought them here. It's part of the course. You know, you'll have to learn chapter by chapter, even those as part of it. Or
can you send basics of Bhagavad Gita with somebody?
yeah, it's 100 rupees each. You can leave that later. It's not no hurry. Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna. Yeah. So we're going to start with prayers, right? So this this page is prayers. The whole page is prayers. So we'll practice this. Actually, it's also in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita that you have, when you go to introduction, a little bit windy today. Yeah, introduction starts with the same prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Right? So these prayers are also there in this paper. I made it kind of handy for you, one whole side. So you can hold this and together we'll chant the prayers in the beginning. Some of you doing it for the first time. It's a little difficult for the first time for you to chant them. Right? So you can hear me and try to read them while I'm chanting. The second part, I'll make you chant. Right? Yeah. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayan Rupa Kadamayam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Now please chant after me as loud as you can. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The remaining mantras are here below, so I'll be chanting them. Please start repeating after me. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namah Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha Namo Brahmanyaya Devaya Gau Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I request everyone to lift your hands as high as you can. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kum karoti vachalam pangum langayate girimit kripahatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Om apavitro pavitro va sarvavasthim gatopi va yat smaret pundarikaksha sabhyabhyantaram suche. Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. Hare Krishna. I'm so grateful to all you wonderful couples, Matajis and Prabhujis who have come here. Firstly, I would want to make a declaration that I am no guru. I am not anybody who is capable of teaching anyone. I'm just sitting here to share what Krishna has already given and what the great gurus have already explained us, including the great Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Shankaracharya. They are great acharyas, they are gurus. No matter what we do, we can never take a guru's position. So you might be asking, why am I sitting on, something like a Vyasasan, a little higher? That's only so I can see all of you. Because if I sit down, then I can only see three of you in the front. That's the only reason. Sometimes a monkey climbs a tree, but doesn't become a guru. Similarly, like me, I just climbed something doesn't mean that I'm a guru. And in this endeavor, if I'm making any mistakes, please forgive me as your humble servant. I'm just here to share the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Learning Bhagavad Gita is a great fortune. And it's a must journey that all of us should have. And there is a whole sequence in which we'll learn Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1 to chapter 18. Right? There are 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. By knowing this little thing, you might be 1% of Indian population who knows what is there inside Bhagavad Gita already. Because a lot of people don't even know how many chapters Bhagavad Gita has. And how many verses it has? 700. Yeah. So before this, we had started this batch around, I think, 6-7 months back in my own Krishe, but that was a preliminary course before we started Bhagavad Gita. That was Science of Self-Realization. 12 sessions were conducted. Can everybody lift your hand, whoever has attended that sessions? Yeah, around 50% of you. That's good. But don't worry who have not attended. I'm going to send you recordings, right? In the same WhatsApp group, I'll send you the recordings. During the week, you can hear the recording and you can go through it. And I will want you to finish one recording 1 week, right? Not like everything you have to finish. In 7 days, you have to finish one recording, first session. What that will do, it will scale you up to the consciousness at which you can understand Bhagavad Gita, right? And why we sing these prayers, this has a lot of things behind also, is because without the permission of the great acharyas, we have no qualification to read what we are going to read now. So humility is the most important quality needed to attend spiritual education. In olden days, when children were sent to school, the master would tell them, okay, go clean the gate, go clean the classroom, go, sweep the floor, go do this. Whether the child is coming from a king's family or whether the child is coming from a poor man's family, it doesn't matter. Once they enter Gurukul, everybody is same. And the guru would give this kind of work. And the parents would never question, why are you asking my child to clean the gate? Today, if you send your children to Oak Ridge School and they're asking your child to clean gate, what will you do? How dare you? I'm paying 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, whatever. How dare you do that, right? That is how education is looked at. But spiritual education is not like that. People are first made humble. Vidya Vinayam. Vinayam lekunta Vidya Radu. In the same way, without being humble, you cannot understand the knowledge. And that is the reason Krishna himself is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashtena sevaya upadekshantite jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Tattva darshana means complete knowledge. Tattva means complete knowledge, right? That you can only have when you do seva to the Guru and when you become humble. Until then, you'll not understand, right? If you're sitting here thinking that I can read English, I can figure it out, I learn, I'm sorry to tell you, you cannot learn even 1% of it. Because this is Guha Jnanam, confidential knowledge. Krishna says in 4th chapter. He says, I am giving you the most confidential knowledge. The greatest confidentiality is everything is printed. You can read it, but you'll never understand it. That is a confidentiality. You'll understand it only when the Guru gives it to his disciple, when the disciple serves the Guru. Right? So all these things are not taught in our schools, not to blame the British invasion and the continuity of it. But now is the time. We all have come at this stage. Somebody is in 50s, somebody is in 40s. I can see even elderly here. and I can see some youngsters also here. Right, the youngest are sitting in the front. That somewhere we are starting education. Somewhere we are starting the spiritual education, and spiritual education has basics. And that is the reason I humbly requested everyone to buy this book called Basics of Bhagavad Gita. I want you to read this. I mean, reading is a habit that's almost gone right now, but we have to get it back. One of the reasons we don't want to read is because we never liked what we read in our school. I'm sure all of us have buried our book somewhere, underneath 6 feet below, that I'm not going to see the Pythagoras theorem again, right? But this education is not like that. You would want to read it again and again and again. Bhagavad Gita is not read once, it is read many, many times. Because every time you read it, it gives you a perfect answer for your current problems. It's ancient knowledge for modern times. Never think that Bhagavad Gita is not applicable today. I'm going to tell you the sequence of chapters, what chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way till 18 means. Briefly, I'll tell you, but I'm not going to detail. Chapter 1 is about questioning, about indecision, where Arjuna doesn't know what to do. So he's going to put the problem statement, right? Almost sounds like project management, isn't it? Problem statement definition, requirement definition, right? Second chapter is Krishna's answer for all the problems. So he answers everything in second chapter. So actually Bhagavad Gita is finished in second chapter. He completely answers everything that Arjuna needs to know. After that, he understands that Arjuna cannot understand so easily because Arjuna represents all of us. Right? Shankaracharya says, what is it? Gita. He gives in Gita, the prayers of Gita. Sarva Upanishado Gavo, Dogda Gopalanandana, Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta, Gitam, what is it? Sarvam Gitamritam Mahat. He basically says all the Upanishads are taking one form of a cow. And Partha is like a calf who is standing near the cow. And Gopala Nandana is the one who is milking the cow. And the milk that is coming out to feed the calf is the Bhagavad Gita. So everything that is there in all the Vedic scriptures you can find in this one Bhagavad Gita. It is told by whom? Shankaracharya himself. And who is Shankaracharya? He is Lord Shiva himself. Right? He himself is telling that you can go and read all the Vedas. You can go and read if you can. And I don't think any one of us here can read all the Vedas. How many Vedas are there? You can't even imagine so many Vedas are there. If I have to keep one page of Veda on the floor and keep filling the planet is not enough. So much knowledge is there. But instead of reading all that, just read Bhagavad Gita, understand Bhagavad Gita, that's enough. Right? That is the definition of given by Shankaracharya. And so many things. Great acharyas like Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya. And I'll tell you who these acharyas are. Some of us don't know who these great people are. But it's very important that we know. Then only we'll understand why we as a country are what we are. So in second chapter, Krishna finishes the entire Bhagavad Gita. Third chapter, he understands that people have to work. And they have to understand life through working. All of us work. Some are Matajis, Prabhujis, housewives or working wives, or Prabhujis are working outside business, employment. So many things. There is fathers, there is mothers, there is Pitra Dharma, Matra Dharma. So many dharmas are there. So Krishna understands that you have to work. So he explains that you can implement the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita by working. And the third chapter is Karma Yoga. How do you work? In order to work, you need knowledge. Fourth chapter is transcendental knowledge. How to use that knowledge in order to work. Fifth chapter is application of that knowledge to work. Sixth chapter, Krishna knows that even if he gave the knowledge, we will never understand because we are too diverted. Our minds are not at one place. Your mind should be fixed in order to understand great knowledge, isn't it? I'm sure your mind has already gone to your flat and thinking, did I close the door? Right? That is the situation of the mind today. Mind is not stable. So it's very important the mind is stable, and that is the reason what we are doing here is mantra meditation. This is one of the most essential things, a compulsory thing for, okay, I wanted to ask, do you want me to be a strict teacher like your college or school, or do you want me to be a casual teacher? Huh? So whoever wants it to be casual, lift your hand. Because there are some casual students here. We'll keep it casual. But I still have to tell that, please try to follow some things that I'm saying because it will really benefit you. Everybody who has not got this back today, I'll get it next week. But 108 times chant Hare Krishna mantra from today on. Whatever puja you're doing, do that puja. Just add another 5 minutes to that. Finish one round of chanting. Because if you don't do that, you can't understand Bhagavad Gita. Believe me, you cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. To understand Bhagavad Gita, you need to chant the names of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So in 6th chapter, Krishna explains that how to control mind. Because now he knows, he has given the knowledge. He told how to apply it, but now you have to control your mind. 7th chapter is attraction towards him. He explains who he is. Because see, unless you are attracted to God, why will you read about God? So in 7th chapter, he tells who I am. How am I different from all the other devatas? Who is Shiva? Who is Brahma? Who is Varuna? Who is Agni? And who am I? And how am I different? What is my definition? We'll understand that as we go into 7th chapter. And 8th chapter is about giving attraction. 7th is giving knowledge. 8th is about giving, attaining, the attraction, Almighty. So he gives the attraction for us. And once the attraction is given, then bhakti starts. And that is the reason 9th chapter is what? Can anyone read the name? The most confidential knowledge, which is love. Right? In 9th chapter, he explains about love. Right? So how can you love God is the 9th chapter. And the 10th and the 11th chapter is his Virat Rup Darshan, outside and inside. So he explains where you can see Krishna, where you can see me. You can see me in everything. That is one chapter. And he exactly shows his Vishwarup. That is the 11th chapter. Right? And finally, the 12th chapter is devotional service. Once you know who is God, once all the doubts are cleared, what do? You fold your hands and perform devotion. That is the 12th chapter. Now, Krishe should finish Bhagavad Gita in 12th chapter. Actually, it's over because Arjuna asked his questions. He gave the answers. He explained how to apply that answers in work. He gave the knowledge. He gave the attraction. He explained what is love. And he showed himself completely what he is. And then he said, you perform your devotion by doing the war. And now 12th chapter, it's over. Now, what is the reason for 13th to 18th chapter? I'm telling you, Bhagavad Gita is a very, 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 very scientific book. We can also apply in project management. What do you do when you're finished with your explaining your subordinates about the project? Then you're worried about the obstacles, isn't it? Everybody faces obstacles. 13th chapter is about internal obstacles. 14th chapter is about external obstacles. 15th chapter is about solution for obstacles. Right? Now, what is 16th and 17th chapter then? 16th chapter is about how do you know whether you are progressing properly? Important to know, right? All of us have status reports in the office. 16th chapter is your status report. 17th chapter is about how clearly you understood the scope. Divisions of faith. Is your faith clear or no? 18th chapter is conclusion. Hear my advice and do the war. Conclusion, renunciation. Meaning, Arjuna, whatever perspectives you had, that's okay. Now I've told the entire Bhagavad Gita. Now do what I'm asking you to do. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam raja. Aham tarum sarvapapibhyo moksha shyami masucha. He's telling conclusion done. So it starts with confusion, ends with conclusion. Starts with confusion, ends with conclusion, right? Now this is the whole, I've just, I think in 5 or 6 minutes, I've given you a basic structure of Bhagavad Gita. What you're doing in which chapter, right? At least basic structure. I'm recording this session and I'll keep it on YouTube. Don't worry. No, I don't think the whole world watches my channel anyways. So it's for you to recap. The only reason I'm doing this is for you to recap. If you want to listen it again during the week, you can go back and listen it. Is that okay with everyone? Yeah? Okay, Hare Krishna. So now we will start the first chapter, first shloka. Please open the Bhagavad Gita. If you are okay, just keep it to your forehead and pray that this knowledge should come into your life and it should help you in whatever problems that you are in. Yes. So you can directly go to page number 30. And after page number 30, there is something called disciplinic succession. Can you see a page called disciplinic succession? Everybody? Whoever could not see, lift your hand. Yeah. Go to page number 30. After that, disciplinic succession. Could you see that? Yeah, this is very important. Why this is important is you should understand. Today there are a lot of Gitas, lot of Gita speakers, lot of Gita teachers. But you should know that not anybody can explain Gita unless there is sanction of God. So here is a disciplinic succession which is called parampara system, where the knowledge is passed on through a disciplinic succession, guru after guru after guru after guru. Right? This is one to many. One guru, many disciples. And then one of the disciples become guru, he passes it on to the next. So here you can see the disciplinic succession of this sampradaya. We are Madhva Sampradaya or Brahma Sampradaya. Right? There are 4 sampradayas that I'll explain later, but we are Madhva Sampradaya. In Madhva Sampradaya, the guru is Brahma. So Krishna, Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, Madhava, Padmanabha, Narahari, Madhava, like that all the way it comes to, I'm going to go a little up, 28. Jagannath Das Babaji, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, then here Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and finally 32, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. If you go to the back of the book, you can see his picture here. He is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, right? So he is the great Acharya who has finally passed on the knowledge to us, and he has passed on to many of his disciples, and those disciples are again passing it on further. Why this disciplinic succession is important? Can anybody tell? Why it is important? Why I can just grow little dadi or no dadi or hair or no hair, just come and sit here like a sadhu and tell whatever I want? Why is the disciplinary succession important? Whatever comes to your mind, just share. Huh? To keep the originality. Yes, that's true. Thank you, Prabhuji. Sorry, I couldn't hear. Bona fide. Who said that? Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes. It should be bona fide. It should be perfect. Right? I shouldn't change it. See, I'll tell you a simple thing. I have a guru. His name is His Holiness Radhanath Swami. His guru is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Like he has many other disciples, like my guru. I am recording this session. This will be public. And I am going to speak some nonsense. For example, what is going to happen? One of my god brothers is going to call my guru and tell Lilananda pagal ho gaya. He is telling whatever he wants to tell. Right? And then immediately what my guru will do? He'll remove me from the discipline section. He say, you are useless fellow. You better don't speak. Isn't it? And whatever I speak has to be as per scripture, not whatever I like to speak. Whatever I speak has to be there in a shloka. Because today people can speak anything. Right? But we should believe that what is coming through Shastra is Shastra Praman, is very, very important. Right? So disciplinic succession makes sure that the knowledge is not contaminated. The knowledge is passed on without any compromise. For example, if somebody likes smoking, I'm not going to tell that Bhagavad Gita approves smoking. People do that. People can do anything using the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. They'll approve whatever they can't do, and they just make it, easily acceptable for everyone. Some of the things that I'm going to tell, you may not like it here. But my goal is not to make you like it here. My goal is to tell you what Krishna told. Are you all with me? Yes. And if you don't like it here, I can see some absences, some absentees. That's okay. But the point is, why are we doing this session? Why are we conducting this Bhagavad Gita class? Why are all of you coming here? Please repeat after me. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. Meaning he should be happy. We are all coming here to please Krishna, not to please each other. Oh Mataji, you are so great. Oh Prabhuji, you are so great. That is not the point. Point is God happy? And God will be happy when we repeat the knowledge as it is. Isn't it? Today in the so-called spiritual market, people are compromising on basic principles also. Because in order to gain audience, right? I can get more audience if I just say, you can do whatever you want. Just look into me. You see me, I see you. And everything is okay. There are so many fake things going on outside. I'm not going to tell any of those things. I'm going to tell what Krishna told. With that background, let us start today's session. So I'm going to read this verse 3 times. Then I'll request 3 Prabhujis. Actually, in the beginning, I should do Kirtan, but I thought I'll do it at the end. Let people settle down. Next time onwards, we'll follow like that. Yeah. So I'm in page number 1. Right? Sorry. Verse number 1. Have you all gone to the chapter 1? Can everybody read the chapter name first? Observing On the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Yes. So please repeat after me. Dhritarashtra uvacha. Little louder, please. Dhritarashtra uvacha. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. Samaveta Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. May I request Prabhuji to read once? We all will repeat after him.
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre
Samveta Yuyatsvaha
Samaveta Yutsavaha
Mamaka Pandava Ashveva
Mamaka Pandavaschaiva
Kim Purvarta Sanjaya.
Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. One more Prabhuji, please. Anybody from the back? Yes, Prabhuji can read. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. One more Prabhuji, please. One more Prabhuji. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. One Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. One more Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Yes, Mataji, you wanted to read? Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Please repeat after me the translation. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Right? So this is about Dhritarashtra speaking. Now, since I'm not going to read all the purports, but since it's the first class, and we have to respect the the Acharya who has translated this and who has written all the purport. Purport is very essential for all of us. Purport is a commentary given by the Acharyas based on the commentaries of all the Acharyas. Right? So please focus. It's going to take 5 minutes, but please hear it out and then we will discuss. Okay? Purport. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic science summarized in the Gita Mahatyam, glorification of the Gita. There it says that one should read Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly with the help of a person who is a devotee of Sri Krishna and try to understand it without personally motivated interpretations. Right? So what is being told here? It has to be read under proper guidance, right? And it has to be a devotee who explains this knowledge, not any scholarly person. We are not here to become Sanskrit experts. Let me tell you in the beginning itself. Learning Sanskrit knowledge is divine, but that's not the goal of Bhagavad Gita. Goal of Bhagavad Gita is to understand what is being told in Sanskrit, right? So we are not here for any scholarly, thought process. And another is we are not here to without personally motivated, interpretations. So you should not go to a speaker who will speak whatever he likes to speak through Bhagavad Gita. That's what people do. They want to tell something, then they'll tell, okay, as per Gita also it's like that. No, we want to hear first the Bhagavad Gita, then we'll hear others' conclusions. I'm going to read further. The example of clear understanding is there in the Bhagavad Gita itself, in the way the teaching is understood by Arjuna, who heard the Gita directly from the Lord. If someone is fortunate enough to understand the Bhagavad Gita in that line of disciplinic succession without motivated interpretation, then he surpasses all studies of Vedic wisdom and all scriptures of the world. One will find in the Bhagavad Gita that all that is contained in other scriptures, but the reader will also find things which are not to be found elsewhere. That is the specific standard of the Gita. It is a perfect theistic science because it is directly spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, Lord Shri Krishna. The topics discussed by Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya are described in Mahabharata, form the basic principle of this great philosophy. It is understood that this philosophy evolved on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is a sacred place of pilgrimage from the immemorial time of the Vedic age. It was spoken by the Lord when he was present personally on this planet for the guidance of mankind. The word Dharmakshetra, a place where religious rituals are performed, is significant because on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present on the side of Arjuna. Dhritarashtra, the father of the Kurus, was highly doubtful about the possibility of his son's ultimate victory. In his doubt, he inquired from his secretary Sanjaya, what did they do? He was confident that both his sons and the sons of his younger brother Pandu were assembled in the field of Kurukshetra for a determined engagement of the war. Still, his inquiry is significant. He did not want a compromise between the cousins and brothers, and he wanted to be sure of the fate of his sons on the battlefield. Because the battle was arranged to be fought at Kurukshetra, which is mentioned elsewhere in the Vedas as a place of worship, even for the denizens of heaven, Dhritarashtra became very fearful about the influence of the holy place on the outcome of the battle. He knew very well that this would influence Arjuna and the sons of Pandu favorably, because by nature they were all virtuous. Sanjaya was a student of Vyasa, and therefore, by the mercy of Vyasa, Sanjaya was able to envision the battlefield of Kurukshetra even while he was in the room of Dhritarashtra. And so Dhritarashtra asked him about the situation on the battlefield. Both the Pandavas and the sons of Dhritarashtra belong to the same family, but Dhritarashtra's mind is disclosed herein. He deliberately claimed only his sons as Kurus, and he separated the sons of Pandu from the family heritage. One can thus understand the specific position of Dhritarashtra in his relationship with his nephews, the sons of Pandu. As in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants are taken out, so it is expected from the very beginning of this topic that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion, Sri Krishna, was present, the unwanted plants like Dhritarashtra's son, Duryodhana, and others would be wiped out, and the thoroughly religious persons, headed by Yudhishthira, would be established by the Lord. This is significant. This is the significance of the word Dharmakshetre and Kurukshetre apart from their historical and Vedic importance. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here, let us repeat the words. Please repeat after me. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. King Dhritarashtra said. You can see right after the shloka, there is word by word translation. Repeat that. King Dhritarashtra said. Dharma Kshetre, in the place of pilgrimage. Kurukshetre, in the place named Kurukshetra. Samaveta, assembled. Yutsavaha, desiring to fight. Mamaka, my party, sons. Pandava, the sons of Pandu. Cha, and Eva, certainly. Kim, what? Akurvata, did they do? Sanjaya, O Sanjaya. So Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? So we will spend a little more time on this first shloka. Going forward, we'll finish like 7, 8, 9 shlokas also as we go forward, because I want the foundation to be clear. So Kurukshetra, how many of anybody here who's gone to Kurukshetra? Hare Krishna, very wonderful. Holy land, very, very holy land, right? Kurukshetra, where is Kurukshetra? Haryana, just above Delhi, between Chandigarh and Delhi. There is a Shatabdi Express that comes from Chandigarh to Delhi, right? I used to live in Chandigarh, so I used to travel through that. In between the station is to come. Kurukshetra, like it will come. People will get down and get in, right? So Kurukshetra, there used to be a king called Kuru. Purana has explained that there used to be a king called Kuru, and he was plowing the land himself. The whole Kurukshetra land he was plowing himself. Though he had so many servants, he was plowing it himself. So there, Indra actually was laughing that you have so many people, why are you plowing it yourself? Then he told, this Kurukshetra is a very, very holy place where the Supreme Lord himself is going to come. And I know that that's going to happen in future. That is the reason I'm plowing this land to keep it fertile. Then impressed by that, Indra and many other devatas bless him that anybody who leaves his body in that Kurukshetra will minimal attain the heavenly planets and can even go back to the spiritual world. So there are many benedictions on the Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra was a land chosen for even the battle, right? Now, if you see the translation here it says Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya that, hey Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled at the place of pilgrimage. Pilgrimage means a holy place, like Tirupati, Rameshwaram, like that. Now he's asking, if my sons and my sons of, my brother are both assembled in pilgrimage, will they even fight? How many people have gone to Tirupati, fought with somebody and come? You don't fight there, right? Even if there is a reason to fight, you will be like, you know what, this is a holy place, I will not fight. Right? Dhritarashtra's tension is that. Will these people fight or no? Because it's a pilgrimage. Kurukshetra is a very, very holy place. Will these people even fight there? And he's worried. They better fight, because I've sent them there to fight. Dhritarashtra wanted the fight to happen. And because he wanted the fight to happen, why? Because he wants to be the king. Was Dhritarashtra the king of Hastinapur? He was the king, but not the coronated king. Pattabhishekam, that happens, when somebody is made the king. Like, he is made to sit, and there is a whole ritual where abhisheks happen, mantras are chanted, all the devatas are told, he is going to be the king of this land, and he takes the responsibility of the citizens here. There is a whole process that happens. That yajna never happened for Dhritarashtra. It happened for Pandu, his brother. Dhritarashtra was like, Pandu is not there, so I'm like a backup prime minister, like a backup king. So because Pandu was not there, he said, okay, you take care of it. He said, okay, I'll sit there and I'll take care. But he can never be declared as a king. And a king's son normally is educated enough and blessed enough to become the next king. Not necessarily. Right? Ours is, a lot of people think that king's son becomes king. No, it doesn't work like that. The great kings in the past, they even conducted election to find the right citizen when their son was not capable. It also happened so. Right? So, here, it is very clearly seen that he is not telling, what are my sons doing? He is saying, my sons and the sons of Pandu. That itself shows his intentions about his brother. I'm sure many of us have watched B.R. Chopra Mahabharat here and, Star Plus and I don't know what other versions. So we all are knowledgeable of what's happening here. Who are Pandavas, who are Kauravas, right? We already know the background. So I'm not going to get into too much of detail there. But here it's very clear through this first verse itself where he's saying, I don't like my sons of Pandu. My sons of Pandu are different, my sons are different. He should have called them Kurus, but he says Kurus and Pandus, like that, right? So the war started on the day of the first day of Margasira Mas. Now, what is the Mas that is going on? Kartika Mas. Kartika Mas will get over, and the next Mas is Margasira Mas. The war started on the first day of Margasira Mas, and after 18 days, the war got over. 18 days of Kurukshetra, right? Where crores and crores of people were killed, right? I mean, literally, the whole planet was wiped off from all the warriors. Many widows were left, right, after the whole war. So when this war happened, as I said, it started on the first day of Margasira Mas. When was the Bhagavad Gita spoken? On the first day or the 18th day? It was spoken before the war started or after the war started?
The war.
Yeah, in a way, actually after. Conch shell is already blown. Then the Bhagavad Gita starts. The blowing of conch shell means the war has started. But then Arjuna says, okay, I have some questions. Right? So he kind of, see, Krishna had nicely prepared Arjuna for the whole war, and he made everything there. But like we all face resource problems even now. When Krishna faced a resource problem, he didn't have a backup resource also. When he told, I have questions, and like, what questions do you have now? Now is the time to act. No, I have questions now. So both of them went in between the battlefield, and the question answer happened. And finally, he became a billable resource. He came back and he did his work. Right? So one of the surprising part is, how many of you know a festival called Gita Jayanti? Gita Jayanti. Gita Jayanti is celebrated for what? Gita was spoken on that day, right? Gita Jayanti, the birth of Bhagavad Gita, like that. And Gita Jayanti comes on the 9th day of Margasira Mas, right? Now, Gita was spoken on the first day of Margasira Mas, because you all told that it happened before the battlefield started. I mean, beginning of the war, isn't it? Are you all with me? But how come Gita Jayanti is celebrated on the 9th day of the Margasira Mas? Gita is born on the first day, right? Is there a mystery there? Yes, we'll solve that mystery, right? Kim Makurvata Sanjaya, repeat after me. Kim Makurvata Sanjaya. What did they do? Now, the funny question here is, he himself is saying, Dhritarashtra is saying, that my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the battlefield. So if I say that me and Anil Prabhuji here, me and Anil Prabhuji have assembled in a restaurant. We both are sitting in a restaurant. What do you think we'll do? Eat, right? Me and Prabhuji, some other Prabhuji here, Prabhuji. We both are sitting, say, in a school. What do you think we'll do? Study. Here, Dhritarashtra's question sounds to be a little funny. But is Bhagavad Gita funny? It's not a funny scripture. Why is he saying this? He's saying, again, just read it. After my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Right? It's like you're meeting your friends in a movie theater and you're asking them, what are you doing here? Right? It's a funny question, isn't it? What do you think you'll do in a movie theater? You'll watch a movie. Here is saying they're desiring to fight. They are in Kurukshetra. What did they do? Obviously, they were fighting. Right? Obviously, they are fighting. But why is he asking this question? What did they do? Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Right? So you should understand that that's why scripture cannot be understood by our, speculation of mind. No matter, I'm sure somebody is IIT here, somebody is IIM, MSCA, or whatever useless degrees that we have in materially. That cannot give any qualification for us to understand Bhagavad Gita. We need the whole Sampradaya to explain. You see, now I have to go a little step back. I have to give you a little background why this statement is being made. When Kurukshetra war happened, there were 13 Akshohini Sena on the Kauravas side and 9 Akshohini Sena on the Pandavas side. There was no way under the sun Arjuna could defeat Kauravas. It was not possible. Because who was he fighting with? He was not fighting just with Duryodhan. He was fighting with Karna. Right? Karna was a great warrior. I mean, of course, he can defeat him, but it's not easy defeat. Right? And then who else? Who else? Dronacharya. The person who was his born to whom? What is his father's name? Bharadwaja. Bharadwaj Muni. Bharadwaj Putra. Drona. Now Drona cannot be defeated. And by the way, he is a Brahmana as well as a Kshatriya. Right? He took up the Kshatriya because there was a reason at one point. His son Ashwadhama was on the side of Kauravas, so he became a Kshatriya to save his son in a way, and he cannot be defeated. And he is the guru of the Pandavas and Kauravas, right? And who else was there on the battlefield? Bhishma. Arey Baapre. What kind of a person is Bhishma? Can anyone defeat Bhishma? Nobody can defeat Bhishma. When Bhishma, Bhishma was trained where? Was he trained in some academy of India, some place in this world? No. His mother Ganga took him to the 14 planetary systems above. And there he had taken the Kshatriya courses and everything. And who was his Acharya for weaponry skills? Parashurama. Parashurama is Swayam Bhagavan. He is the avatar of Bhagavan himself. Just imagine that kind of a person who has been trained in such kind of chivalry skills. Can he be defeated? He cannot be defeated. On top of that, his own father gave him a benediction that you can choose your time of death. He cannot choose whether to die or not. He can choose when to die, right? I mean, he has to accept. But how can you kill a person who has the ability to choose his own death time, right? Now, Bhishma is impossible to be killed. So it so happened that, and Bhishma knows who is Krishna. Bhishma is one among the Mahajans, as per Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahajan means the people who are great devotees of God. Like who are there in that Mahajan list? The 4 Kumaras, Prahalada, Bali Maharaj, right? Janaka, like that. There is a whole list of Lord Shiva, right? In that even Narad Muni, and even then, in that list, Bhishma comes. So Bhishma knows everything about God's activities, right? Am I being too fast, or is it okay for you to understand? Yeah, you can raise your hand if you're not understood anything. So it so happened that Bhishma knows everything about Krishna and he's a devotee of Krishna, right? So you might be questioning, why is he on the other side, right? We will discuss about that. I'll tell you a little bit about that. So it so happened that at the beginning of the war, Krishna came to Yudhishthir and he told Yudhishthir that Yudhishthir, go ask your land, whatever that after your Agyatavas, why the Agyatavas happened, the Dyuda happened, and then again another Dyuda happened, and finally they were sent to another 12 years of exile, and 13th year of Agyatavas, when you cannot be seen, should not be seen. All that happened. And now they came back, and now Dhritarashtra told, Krishna told Yudhishthir, go and ask your land back. You need to ask your land back because you're all Kshatriyas. Kshatriya means managers or administrators. Now a manager or administrator cannot sit in the house and cut carrots. He cannot do that. He needs to have something to administer. See, the nature of being a manager, you will manage wherever you are, right? You can't stop a manager from managing. For example, a manager will come in this satsang, he will go and start managing that bookstall there, right? Because a manager can't keep quiet. So there are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, Vaishya. There are 4 kinds of varnas. In this, Kshatriya means managers, administrators. So it tells Yudhishthir that, Yudhishthir, I think you should go and take your land because you have Indraprastha in your name. So let the Hastinapur be with Dhritarashtra, like it was before the Agyatavas, before the thing. You take back your land. Now Yudhishthir told Krishna that, Krishna, I am a little skeptical to go myself because I made a resolution that whatever my elders will tell, I'll follow. I made that resolution. And why that resolution is made is a different story. I'll tell later, right? Or should I tell now? Okay, I'll tell it now. It's very simple. When Draupadi laughed at Duryodhan when he fell into that water in that Indraprastha, in the Maya Sabha, right? The illusionary water, whatever. He fell there and she insulted him. He felt insulted. At that time, he went back immediately to Hastinapur and he told his father, I am going to do Dyuda. Send your Duta and ask Yudhishthir to come. At that time, Vyasa, he comes to Yudhishthir and he tells that a big war is going to happen. A very big war is going to happen. And there will be a lot of people who will be gone. There is a big activity that Krishna has planned. At that time, Yudhishthir immediately tells to himself that, okay, something big is going to happen and I am going to be part of it. and I'm going to be responsible for it. Let me make it happen smoothly. So I'll not put any obstacles in between. I will not come and tell why are you doing this, why are you doing that. Okay, Krishna has a plan. I'll make sure the plan happens very smoothly. So he takes a vow at that time saying that whatever my elders will tell, I will do. Because he will not become an obstacle. Let the Lord's plan happen smoothly. So immediately as soon as the Duta comes, saying that you have to come and do, a gambling match in Hastinapur, even though being Dharmaraj himself, he doesn't object. He says, okay, I'll do. No problem. Because he already took a resolution that my uncle or my father, Dhritarashtra, has told me to play a game of gambling, I'll play. Because I'm sure Krishna has a plan. Are you all following me? And that is one of the reasons he says, okay, I'll play. Even though Vidura comes and tells, hey, Yudhishthira, what are you doing? Shakuni is a very big cheater. You can't play with them. He says, no, I've already made a resolution. I'm going to play. Because whatever is going to happen, I want it to happen. Because Veda Vyas came and told it's going to happen. So let me be my part of following it. So Yudhishthira tells Krishna here that if I go now, and if my uncle tells me to again go on Vanavas, I'll again have to go. I can't go and negotiate there. So Krishna, you go and negotiate. If you really think we deserve to have a land, you go and negotiate. So Krishna says, okay, then if I'm going to negotiate, I can ask for anything. Are you okay with it? He said, Krishna, you are the Supreme Lord. You are the most dear to us. You are taking care of us all the while. So whatever you decide, I'm fine with it. How many of us will go to our altars in our house and tell God that Krishna, do whatever you want, I'm fine with it. Are we ready for it? We're scary, right? I mean, I don't know what God will do. Right? But anyway, Yudhishthira says, do. Krishna, whatever you say, I'm fine with it. Krishna goes to Hastinapur, and there is a whole lila. He goes and it doesn't have the meal that Duryodhana has made. He goes and eats in Vidura's house. He eats a banana, not a banana, cheel of banana, he eats that. There is a whole pastime, Mahabharata. Now, finally, the day comes where the negotiation has to happen. So Krishna comes to Dhritarashtra, and he tells Dhritarashtra, please give back what Pandavas deserve. And I am promising you that the war will not happen. If you just give them back what is theirs, I'll make sure the war will not happen. Because the war will happen, all your sons will die. Pakka. Everybody will die. The whole universe, the whole earth planet will be bereft of Kshatriyas. It is going to be such a gory war. And before Krishna told, even Vedavyas tells to Dhritarashtra that such a war can destroy your entire family. And before that, Akrura comes and tells. Before that, Uddhava comes and tells. So many people are giving good advice to Dhritarashtra, but Dhritarashtra is not only blind by eyes, he is also blind by ears, he is also blind by intelligence. So he says, no, Krishna, let the war happen. If it is written in my destiny, it will happen. He is telling to Krishna, Supreme Lord, that if it is written in the destiny, it will happen. Who has the power to change the destiny? Krishna. Krishna says, Murk, I am telling you, don't blame it on destiny. You are responsible for your destiny. Change it. Give back Pandavas. And I am telling you, Bhima has already taken a resolution that he is going to kill your 100 sons. I will go and tell Bhima to take it back. Because in the Dyut, when it happens, seeing the insult of Draupadi and seeing the insult of everybody, some resolutions are made. Some, pratigyas are made by the Pandavas. Bhima says, I'm going to kill every single child of yours. 100 sons will be killed by me only. And Krishna says, don't worry, I will ask him to take it back. Then he says, Arjuna told he's going to kill, Karna, he's going to kill so many other warriors. I'm going to tell Arjuna to take it back. I will make sure that Pandavas will take back everything that they have resolved. Only thing you have to do is give back their land. Just give it back. Then Dhritarashtra says, see, my son's destiny is my son's destiny. He wants the whole land. So why don't you talk to him? I'm not going to make a decision on his behalf. See, this is called Anda Kanun. Right? I mean, he being the father, still the emperor should have taken a decision. But he doesn't do that because actually he wants the war to happen. Because he wants the kingdom, he wants to be coronated as the emperor. Right? Dhritarashtra, the one who is attached to the kingdom. Every single name has a meaning. Dhritarashtra. It also means there is a positive meaning, there is a negative meaning. The negative meaning is the one who is too attached to the chair. The positive meaning is the one who can keep the kingdom safe being in the chair. That is also the meaning of Dhritarashtra. So Sanskrit as a language has multiple meanings, according to the context in which you understand it. Like Duryodhan. Duryodhan means what? The one who has evil intentions in battle. One who can do good battle but with evil intentions. Right? Does anyone name his son as Duryodhan? आपके बेटे का नाम क्या है? दुर्योधन. कहीं सुना है? नहीं सुना है. So why do you think Dhritarashtra would name his son as Duryodhan? He named him as Duryodhan because Duryodhan also means the one who is very great in battle, who cannot be defeated. Duryodhan, right? So it is also true, and this is also true. Like another, what is Duryodhan brother's name? Dushasan. Shasan means discipline. Dushasan with no discipline. Person with no discipline. Does anyone name his son as Dushasan? No. Dushasan Reddy? Dushasan Rao? Have you seen anywhere? No. But anyway, but still, Dushasan also has a positive meaning to it. The one who can make discipline implemented, that is also perfectly implemented, is also Dushasan name. So every name like Yudhishthir. Yudhi means a place with a lot of anxiety, a place where a lot of things are changing, like a war field, right? In war field, somebody's hand is being cut, somebody's leg is being cut, somebody's head is being cut. Sthir means the one who is fixed and steady. Even in the most unstable places, the one who can be steady is Yudhishthir. Yes, Matni. Huh. What is the driving? The driving factor is told by Krishna. He says, Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajoguna Samudbhava. Krishna says in. So Mataji's question is, what is the main driving factor? What is the main driving factor of Dhritarashtra to behave like this? To make wrong decisions, to make sure the war happens. The main thing is that he's too lusty. He's too lusty. Lust means what? What is the meaning of lust? Lust means when you want to enjoy keeping everybody aside. That is called lust, right? Love and lust is two different things. Love means you want to do it for others, right? You want to serve is love. When you want to be served, it's called lust. Dhritarashtra was a very lusty person. He wanted, selfish, self-centered, right? He wants to be the center of, like, why are, like when we become lusty, we come to material world. In spiritual world, everybody's in love. Everybody's serving Krishna, Radha and Krishna. In material world, I want to be Radha and Krishna. I want to be the center, right? I am the most attractive. When anyone here gets up in the morning, looks in the mirror, what do you think of yourself when you look in the mirror? इतना सुंदर कैसे बना है? I am the center of the world. That is the lust. You want to be the most attractive. You feel that, you are the center of the world. So Dhritarashtra also like that. He was very, and by the way, he was the eldest son of those queens, and still he was not given the kingdom. So he was always angry on that aspect. That decision is made that I am not given the kingdom. So he actually thought that he'll become the king. But in the last minute, Vidura says a blind person cannot rule properly. So Pandu gets the kingdom. So it's like almost, the pastry in your hand and somebody takes it away. Right? So it's like he's so envious of Pandu like that. So coming back, so what is the meaning of Yudhishthir? The one who's steady in the most unpleasant situations, right? So every name has a meaning. The beauty of our Vedic culture, Sanatan Dharma, is all of us have a name and a name has a meaning. These days people say, mera bachcha ka naam Pintu hai. What is the meaning of Pintu? And what character will Pintu have? Right? Character is defined by the name, and the name is given in the naming ceremony. The Brahmana sees his chart, his future, and then he comes up with what is the right name that suits him. All that is done, naming ceremony. Anyway, so coming back, so Krishna is standing in front of Duryodhan now, and is saying, Duryodhan, give the kingdom, and let's close this war. There is no reason to get into the war. And Duryodhan says, there is no reason I'm going to give the land to Pandavas. I cannot accept them ruling anywhere in the planet. I cannot accept them. Then Krishna says, okay, Duryodhan, let us come to a compromise. You rule the whole world. Give them 5 villages. Just 5 villages. 5 villages means what? How big is a village? Just imagine the whole planet is ruled by Duryodhan as emperor, and 5 villages are given to Pandavas. Like Nanakramguda, Khajaguda, Gachiboli, Tellapur, और क्या? हाँ? एक और बोल दो ना, गोपनपल्ली. So 5 villages to Pandavas. इतना दे दे. इतना तो दे सकते हैं ना. If somebody tells you entire Hyderabad is yours except this 5, will you take it or no? No, it's not even Hyderabad. He's telling not even Telangana. He's not even telling Bharat Rashtra. He's telling the entire Bharata Bhumi. He's telling all the 7 continents you can rule. Just give this 5 villages. And what does Duryodhan do? See, when somebody is envious, but he cannot accept even giving little to others. See, when your heart is big, you can accommodate any number of people in it. How many people can sit in a 3-bedroom flat? Can be in a 3-bedroom flat? If your heart is big, 200 people can stay. If your heart is small, even 2 people cannot stay. So that is what happened with Duryodhan. His heart was so small, he could not accommodate Pandavas in it. He said, एक सुई के नोक के नीचे जो जमीन आता है वो भी नहीं दूंगा मैं. A land that comes under the tip of a needle, I will not give. Go. Now there is a problem here. That Pandavas need land because they are Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas cannot sit in the house. They have to manage something. Their nature is like that. And Krishna cannot go back without land. And Krishna says, see, Duryodhan, try to understand. You are a Kshatriya. Your brothers also Kshatriyas. They need something to administer. You have to give them that land. He said, no, I'm not going to give. Then finally Krishna says, okay, then war is inevitable. Then war is inevitable. See, you have to understand that God doesn't want, Lord Krishna doesn't want the war to happen. It is we who make the decisions, which leads to all these wars. So people say, why so many wars are happening? It's not because of God. It's because of us, our indecisiveness. So there finally says, okay, war can. Okay, Krishna says, okay, war is going to happen now. Now look at the tantrums of Duryodhan. He says, okay, war will happen. But Krishna, on 3 conditions. Only if the 3 conditions are fulfilled, war will happen. Because it's even more too much. You are not giving land. We have to do the war now. And you are saying war will happen 3 conditions. I say, what do you mean 3 conditions? Then he says, see, I'm a king. Duryodhan says, see, I'm a king. Those Pandavas are beggars. Why should I spend time with beggars? And you have come as a representative beggar. Why should I even give my time? My time is very precious. I will not give to beggars. So if I am giving to beggars, I'll only give on 3 conditions. So to do the war, 3 conditions. Now Krishna says, okay, tell those 3 conditions, whatever your 3 conditions are, we'll fulfill that. Right? So first condition he says, see, I'm a very busy person. Right? I'm a very busy person. I don't want to spend more than 18 days. In 18 days, if the war doesn't get over, the kingdom is mine, Pandavas have to go. Immediately Krishna calculates 1, 2, 3, 4, 18. 18 दिन में इसको मारना है. So who decided the time of his death? Duryodhan. Right? When your mind is not proper in front of God, you will only do reverse things. So he's sitting there, he decided his time of death. Okay, 18 days. Krishna laughed. Okay, Tadastu. Next, what are the next 2 conditions? Right? Then Duryodhana told, okay, Krishna, even if 1 Pandava is killed, I have won the war. Immediately Krishna said, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to take care of all the 5 of them. So indirectly he's telling what has to happen. So Krishna is saying, okay, all the 5 Pandavas will be perfect. At the end of the war, that's what happened. All the 5 Pandavas were perfect. Right? Nothing happened to them. Now Krishna is like, your date is decided, Pandavas are protected, what else you want? He says, even if 1 Kaurava is left, I won the war. See? Vinashakale viparita buddhi. Hai ki nahi? So bola, even if 1 Kaurava is left, I won the war. Krishna said, Tadastu. Tera pura family khatam hone wala hai. So all the 3 conditions are fulfilled. Okay, the war will happen now. Okay? So war will happen. Then Krishna went back to Dwarka. Then he said, okay, whenever the war date is Margasira Mas, it will start. Then he called Arjun, and he called Arjun and Duryodhan, please come, because you both are relatives also. I can't be biased. I know your dharma, your adharma, but still I can't be biased because you both are relatives. So I'll have to give something to both of you. So he called, that whole pastime of Krishna sleeping on the bed and Duryodhan coming first and standing beside him. But Arjuna comes second, he comes and stands near his feet. So when Krishna opens his eyes, he first sees whom? Arjun, because he's near his feet. And then he looks at Arjun, hey Arjun, thank you for coming. I'm so happy to see you in Dwarka. So what do you think I can do for you? And Duryodhan will say, hey, I came first. You're not looking at me. I came first. Oh, you also come, Duryodhan. Very nice. Yeah. Kya chahiye? And then, yeah, I need something. Wait, Duryodhan. You cannot ask first. I have seen Arjun first. Right? Arjun came first, so he is going to ask. Duryodhan has a big plan because he wants Narayani Sena. Narayani Sena is the most powerful Sena of Dwarka. So he wants that Sena. He came with a clear intention there. So Duryodhan is like, no, Krishna, this is not right. I came first. He came second. He stood near your feet. So you saw him first. Actually, it's me who have to ask first. Then Krishna looks at Duryodhan and says, see, he's your younger brother here. Look at him. He's your younger brother. Being an elder brother, at least you'd give, some levy to your younger brother. Then he's not in the brotherly mood also, Duryodhan. But still he says, okay, theek hai, whatever. I've anyway lost Narayani Sena now. Bad luck. I came at the wrong place. I stood at the wrong place. Theek hai, let's go, decide whatever you want. Then Krishna says, see, you have two things you can take from me. One is my Narayani Sena. Second is me only. And me only, and I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight. Because if I fight, there is no war. Right? I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to lift weapons. Whatever you want to decide. And he tells Arjuna, you are the one to first decide. Then Duryodhana is already upset. He's sitting down. Ho gaya pura mera. Then surprisingly, Arjuna looks at Krishna and says, hey Krishna, what can I ask when you are there in front of me? I just want you. I don't need anything else. I just want you and your blessings. Immediately Duryodhana stands. He says, then Duryodhana looks at, then Krishna looks at Duryodhana. When Duryodhana is like totally acting now. Krishna, anyway, you are gone. What is left? Right? Anyway, you wanted to give that Narayani Sena, you can give that, as a compromise, I'll take that thing. Then Krishna says, okay, take the Narayani Sena. That's what you want. Take it. Right? So Duryodhana is very happy inside. It's like literally, mera jo milna tha, mil gaya mujhe, So he's like so happy. He takes that benediction and he goes out and he goes back to Hastinapur. And Mr. Shakuni is waiting for him. Mera Murk Putra. What is that? Duryodhan. Aa gaya. Duryodhan, did you get it? Yeah, you have a question, Praveen? Yes, go ahead, Praveen. Because both are his relatives. He did not want to be biased. Kunti's kingdom only, na? Kunti's sister-in-law's son is Duryodhan. And Duryodhan is also a very good student of, right? So there is a relationship. See, these days, a little far-off relation means we don't have that much affection. But in those days, even far-off relation is considered almost as part of their own family, like that. Yeah. Krishna wanted to prove a point that even if you use his own powers against him, it will not work. So to prove that point, he said, you want my power? You want God or God's power? You want God's power, but you cannot use it against me. So he gave Narayani Sena, but Narayani Sena could not do anything for him. Like that. So just to prove one point, he does all these things. Hare Krishna. So finally, Krishna, he took that thing and Shakuni was waiting outside. The Shakuni, kya laya mera putra, kya lekar aaya? Then he tells the whole story. Hey, you know what, Mama, I actually went first. So much cheating happened. Still, Arjuna was given the first chance to us. That foolish fellow, he asked for Krishna. I asked for Narayani Sena. Immediately Shakuni is looking at him. Tu kab sudharega? You know what you have done? The only thing you should have asked for is Krishna. What will that Sena? You already have 13 Akshoni Sena. What will you add there? That Krishna is the most crooked fellow. You cannot cheat him. And he can cheat anybody. Right? If you are a cheater, Krishna is a Maha cheater. So you cannot fiddle with him. So I don't know what you have done now. Then Duryodhana, immediately at that time Bhishma also comes. तो क्या हुआ, क्या पूछ के आया? नारायणी सेना लेकर आया, हाँ लेकर आया. I got the Narayani Sena. Then he says, Mama, don't think I'm not intelligent. You know why I did not choose Krishna? That Krishna told that he will not even lift a weapon. He will just stand like a nihatta, like without any weapon, he'll stand in the battlefield. Then immediately Bhishma asks, what did you say? Krishna will not fight? Is that what he told? He said, yes, Krishna told that he will not fight. Then immediately, Krishna and Bhishma are both, good, like God and devotee relationship is there. So immediately Bhishma felt, okay, I am going to make Krishna lift his weapon. Right? Because he told, it's like nice rasa between God and his devotees. Kya Krishna tuna kya bola? You will not lift a weapon, right? I will make you lift the weapon. I will do the war like that one day you lift the weapon like that. So the whole episode gets over, the war starts. Now Dhritarashtra knows that until Bhishma is there on the battlefield, there is no way Pandavas can win. And there is no way that Bhishma can be brought down. So indirectly, what does it mean? Kauravas are going to win the war. Bhishma is the most important person holding the entire fort. And until he is there, nobody can win. And that's what happens. War starts and Bhishma starts smashing of people. And before the war starts, by the way, Vyasdev comes to Hastinapur and he tells Dhritarashtra that in spite of so many warnings, you still took a decision which is going to kill so many people. You are responsible for that. So I am going to give your vision to you so you can see the repercussions of your decision. You have to see the outcome of your decision. You cannot be blind sitting here closing your eyes. You have to see the blood flowing out. You have to see your children getting killed. Then Dhritarashtra says, no, I don't want that telecast. I don't want. I cannot see that. I cannot. This is wrong. You have to take responsibility. Then no, I am responsible. I know, but I don't want that power. Then he says, okay, whenever you want to see, I'm giving that power to Sanjaya. I'm giving that power to Sanjaya. So Sanjaya, whenever you want, even live telecast or recording, whatever, you can see. You can see. Sanjaya says, okay. Sanjaya also doesn't want to see. Because how can you see your relatives being killed on the battlefield? It's not easy, right? Your relatives, your grandfather, they're all going to be killed. He says, I don't want to see. But he says, okay, whenever the king wants to see, you can show. Like that he says and goes away and the war starts. And it is explained that Bhishma starts the war in such a gory way that every single day, half of one Akshoni is getting over. And one of the another conditions of the war is that if the Sena is finished, the war is over. That is not the condition of Duryodhan, but the condition of the war itself. Like if this king goes with the army, this king goes with the army. If his army gets over, he is defeated, even though the king is still alive. You understanding? So one of the tensions that Pandavas have is the war is going on, but all the army is getting wiped off. Because he is literally wiping off, like, can you imagine like 6 crore people dying in a day? Like how much is Hyderabad? 2 crores? 1 crore something? Can you imagine entire Hyderabad dead in one day? By weapons of one person? Can't imagine. That was the kind of weaponry they were using. Right? Literally, crores of people were dying every single day. There was a stream of blood coming out of Kurukshetra. Like a river of blood coming out. So many dead bodies were being cremated. It was horrible gory scene. 7th day, 8th day, Krishna gets angry on Arjuna. He looks at Arjuna and says, Arjuna, I told the entire Bhagavad Gita to you. I told that you are not related to your grandfather, your Pitama. He is still a soul, that is still a body, you should kill him. And still you are not motivated to kill him. You are not fighting the way you normally fight, Arjuna. If you're not going to fight properly, then I have to do something that I don't want to do. Then Bhishma is very happy. Do. Arjuna is like, no, wait, Krishna, I'll do it. Then immediately starts pouring arrows on Bhishma. But Bhishma can't do anything to Bhishma. It's impossible to defeat Bhishma. Bhishma defeated Parashurama. You all know that story. I'm not going to get there. Bhishma defeated Parashurama. God himself said, okay, Amma, you are a great warrior. I mean, that's the humility of Parashurama. He made him win like that. But that is the greatness of Bhishma. And what can Arjuna do? And at that time, at one point, Krishna sees that this fellow is not motivated to kill or is not doing his best, he gets up. Krishna gets up. Krishna gets up and he jumps out of the chariot and he pulls out the wheel of the chariot, that one of the chariot, the broken chariot there, pulls out the wheel, lifts the wheel, and he charges towards Bhishma. And Bhishma immediately he puts his arrow down, his bow down, and he does his pranam. He says, "This is the scene I wanted to see." It's as good as in loving affairs when somebody is bringing a rose to you, you're like, ah, this rose is mine. He's looking at the chariot wheel like a rose, right? Like my lover is coming to me, and finally, I am fortunate to die in your hands. I am so unfortunate throughout my life. I've been tortured by Dhritarashtra and his sons. Finally, my death is going to be glorious. Krishna, come and kill me. I'm ready. Right? Immediately, Bhishma is coming fully, Krishna is coming fully charging towards him. And Arjuna jumps out of the chariot, holds Krishna's feet. And Krishna is dragging him towards Bhishma. And literally, dragging Arjuna is not easy. Huh? Don't think Arjuna is like one of us, like here, Prabhuji ka naam Arjuna hai, Arjun is here. No. Arjuna is who? Arjuna, it is explained in Mahabharata that he could shoot an arrow and it would go like 7 miles away. 7 miles is what, 10 kilometers? And after 7 miles, it would go through 3 trunks of 3 trees and kill an elephant. That is Arjuna. Can you imagine the chivalry skill of Arjuna? Can anybody shoot an arrow on that building here? From here? नहीं होगा. Software के वजह से कुछ नहीं होने वाला. पूरा कमर गया, हाथ गया, सब कुछ गया. So you cannot imagine who is Arjuna, the kind of chivalry skills he has. And that person is holding Krishna's leg to stop, and Krishna is dragging him like 80-90 feet. Just imagine what is happening on the battlefield. And the whole battlefield is looking, entire war stopped. They're looking at this scene. And Hare Krishna. And at that time, Arjuna looks at, Krishna and says, Krishna, yaar, pura izzat mat nikalo. If you do the war now, your fame will be gone, my fame will be gone. For eternity, the people will tell that, you have gone back on your promise. You told that you'll not lift weapons. And if you lift weapons, what will people think of you? And I am here to serve you. And if I'm not going to do what you asked me to do, then what will be my glory? Please give me one more chance. Ek aur chance de do. Today is 8th day. Prabhuji, please have prasadam. It's ready. Srinivas Prabhu, can you please give some prasadam? Let's come. Yeah. Yeah. So he says, please give me one more chance. And Bhishma says, Krishna says, okay, one more chance I'm giving you. Today is 8th day. Tomorrow, if you don't kill him, the war is, I'm going to do what I have to do. Then Bhishma is so upset. Bhishma is already ready to die there. And this fellow stopped the whole program. What is this, So he said, finally, okay, whichever way Krishna wants me to die, I'll die. So he's very upset. He goes back. And then that day when Bhishma goes back to his room, Duryodhan comes there. Said, Bhishma, my Pitama, you are a cheater. Duryodhan he will tell everything to insult. He's expert in insulting. So Bhishma, he is telling his own grandfather, you are a cheater. Bhishma is like, what? What nonsense are you telling me? I'm a cheater? Yes, you are a cheater. You are not killing Pandavas. You are actually fighting on their behalf. You are standing on my side as a captain, but you're actually supporting the Pandavas. You're not supporting me. So how do you say that? No, I'm telling you. I can tell you that you cannot kill Pandavas. You will never kill Pandavas. I completely provocate him like anything. Then Bhishma says, okay, you know what? Wait. He goes inside, brings 5 arrows. Give these 5 arrows tomorrow morning. I'm going to kill each one of the Pandavas tomorrow morning. The war is over tomorrow. You want me to prove my loyalty? Keep these 5 arrows with you. Tomorrow morning in the battlefield, give me these 5 arrows. I will kill the Pandavas. Immediately Duryodhana feels, ho gaya, kaam ho gaya. 8 din se jo nahi kar raha hai, abhi karega. So he takes that 5 arrows and he goes. He goes to his place and he sleeps peacefully. Tomorrow morning, all the 5 Pandavas are killed. This thing is known only to 2 people. Who? Bhishma and Duryodhana. About these 5 arrows. Is there anyone else who can know about this? Paramatma. Krishna is sitting inside, right? Immediately Krishna knows. He calls Arjun. Arjun, come here. go to Duryodhana's place and remind him of the benediction he gave you when you saved him from what is that? Gandharvas. You were once captured by Gandharvas, and he and Bhim came and saved you. At that time, you told, whatever you want, I'll give. So go and remind him. Arjuna says, Krishna, why should I go and ask him and remind him of that benediction? No, you go and ask him, remind him. When he says that he's going to give anything, ask for 5 arrows. Arjuna says, what do you mean 5 arrows? I have a lot of arrows here. No. Ask for 5 arrows. Ask for 5 arrows and get those 5 arrows. Then Arjuna goes, knocks the door. Night, he opens. Okay, Arjun, why are you here? Remember I saved you from that Gandharvas? Yeah, I remember. You told me that you'll give me whatever I want. Yeah, I'll give you. You tell whatever you want. You want the kingdom, take the kingdom. I don't know. I don't care. But Arjuna will never do that because he is a Kshatriya. He doesn't want kingdom as benediction. He'll win it. So he says, give me those 5 arrows. Duryodhana is like shocked. Arey, abhi to lekar aaya main. It's not even 1 hour they are with me. And this fellow asks, which 5 arrows? See, those 5 precious arrows that you have, give it to me. He cryingly goes inside, removes those 5 arrows and gives it to Arjun. And that very night, Arjun and Dhritarashtra and Yudhishthir comes to Bhishma on the advice of Krishna and asks him how you can be brought down. Right? Because there is no other way. You only have to tell how you can be brought down. And it says that if a woman comes in front of me, I will not do the war. And so Shikandi comes. You all know that story. Next day morning, Bhishma is there to kill the Pandavas. He is fully prepared. He goes to the war field. Duryodhana is nowhere in the sight. He is hiding somewhere. And Bhishma is like, okay, where is Duryodhana? Duryodhana, idhar aao. Yes, Pitama. 5 arrows. Say, but Pitama, I gave the 5 arrows, I gave it to Pandavas yesterday. Why did you give it to Pandavas? You only told you have to kill the Pandavas. Where are those 5 arrows? Actually, yesterday night, Arjun came and he asked for that 5 arrows. Immediately, Bhishma keeps the Dhanush down and says, Are Murk, even now you can't see what is happening. Who are you fighting against? You are fighting against the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. How do you think you can win this battle? There is no way you can win this battle. How do you think? Can't you join the dots here? He is the Supreme Lord. He knows everything. I am here to kill Pandavas today, and I told you keep that 5 arrows. He took those 5 arrows. How do you think Arjuna got to know about it? Who would have sent Arjuna? Stop the war now. Even now I'm telling, nothing much happened. Stop the war. It's 9 days done. Even now you can stop the war. Just compromise it. Give them whatever they asked. Let's close the deal. No. The war will happen because Bhishma is there. Even Duryodhana knows that until Bhishma is there is no defeat for Kauravas. So he says, no, we'll still do the war. Then Bhishma says, okay, as you wish. And that day, most gory battle happens there. And finally, Arjuna brings Shikandi in the front and he shoots all possible arrows on Bhishma. And it is explained, so many arrows were thrown on Bhishma that you cannot even put a finger in between the arrows and touch Bhishma. Can you imagine? His body, so many arrows were there, you can't even touch Bhishma. So many arrows were there. And he was put on the battlefield that he cannot get up now. His body is gone. He can't bring back that body. He can be alive because that is a benediction he has. So do you think Bhishma had a liver, pancreas, gallbladder? Kuch bhi nahi tha. Pura gaya. Everything is gone. Actually, his body is not there. It's only lump of flesh, broken like in the pulp. Like there it is. But he's still alive. Right? Because he doesn't want to leave the body until the kingdom is protected. That's another benediction he gave, resolution he took for his father. So he is there. Now, Bhishma has fallen down. You all might be thinking, today is Bhagavad Gita class or Mahabharat class? I'll tell you there is a link now. This news goes to Hastinapur. What is the news? Bhishma is brought down. On what day? 9th day. Then immediately the news goes to Dhritarashtra, and Dhritarashtra is shocked. How can Bhishma be brought down? Immediately he calls Sanjaya and says, my sons and sons of Pandu in Kurukshetra are there, right? They were intending to fight, right? What did they do? How did they bring down Bhishma? What did they do to bring down Bhishma? Now you understood why the question?
Yes.
Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. What did they do to bring down Bhishma? And then Sanjaya says, okay, now I'm going to, on your order, I'm going to go and do the recording of the entire 9 days. So he goes back to the 9th day recording, first day. He goes and then the recording starts. So it is not a live telecast of Bhagavad Gita. It's a recording of Bhagavad Gita. And for us, Bhagavad Gita is born on the 9th day. For Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita was born on the first day. And that when do we celebrate Gita Jayanti?
9th day.
On the 9th day. Now you understand the link? Huh? So, Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. What did they do? That question is asked. And then the answer is given. And the entire Bhagavad Gita is spoken. Just few other points I'd like to say. The whole chapter, you can use this side of the page to write it down. If you have a pen and a paper. Shloka number 1 to 27 in first chapter. Shloka number 1 to shloka number 27 is introduction of people. Introducing everything is, you can say the category is introduction. 1 to 27. And shloka number 28 to 46 is Arjuna's reasons not to fight. He's going to tell, I'm not going to fight for reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, reason 4, reason 5, like that. Right? And all those 5 reasons are also there. They are, you can write down shloka number 1.26 to 30. The reason is compassion. Compassion. Right? Shloka number 26 to 30. Shloka number 31 to 35 is enjoyment, sense enjoyment. Shloka number 36 to 38 is fear of sins. Fear of sins. I will not do the war because it will bring sins to me. Shloka number 39 to 43, destruction of family. Right? And finally, in second chapter, 6th verse, 2.6 you can write, indecision. I cannot decide. So these are the 5 reasons Arjuna gives. We will discuss this as we go forward. So this is the distribution of the chapter. So you know that when we go forward, how you are going to read, what are you going to find in the chapter. Okay. So, you want me to repeat? Okay. So basically, first chapter divided into 2 parts, introduction and Arjuna's reasons. Introduction is from 1.1 to 1.27. And Arjuna's 5 reasons is from 1.28 to 1.46. Right? And then those 5 reasons again, I've divided them into the shlokas, exact shlokas. 1.28 to 1.30 is compassion. 1.28 to 1.30. First chapter, when I say 1.28, first chapter, 28th verse, like that. 1.30 is compassion. 1.31 to 35 is enjoyment. 1.36 to 38 is fear of sinful reactions, fear of sins. Then the fourth one, 1.39 to 43 is destruction of family traditions. Destruction of family traditions. 1.39 to 43. And the last reason, it comes in the second chapter, not in the first chapter. It is to second chapter, 6 shloka. Shloka number 6, indecision. Indecision, right? So I will stop it here today. Today we finished 1 shloka, but it needed a lot of background. The first few shlokas of Bhagavad Gita will introduce you to a lot of Mahabharata. You cannot separate Mahabharata from Bhagavad Gita. They both go combined, right? And there are a lot of things you will learn. Actually, what you have seen in Mahabharata, in Star Plus or B.R. Chopra is like, say, 1% of actual Mahabharata. There are so many things that have happened. So many characters are there who are not even introduced, right? So some part of them, you'll hear them in the Bhagavad Gita. So we'll do a small kirtan. Is that okay? Kirtan means don't sing with me, sing after me. Okay. Enthusiastically sing. Then we'll take a couple of questions and then we'll wrap up. Okay. Just 5 minutes Kirtan. Kirtan is very important that it purifies our heart, purifies our mind, and prepares us for spiritual knowledge. Okay, and I request everyone to sing enthusiastically. Don't sing with me, after me, in the same tune. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, Gopi Vallabha Radha, Gopi Vallabha Radhe. Jaya Radha, Madan Mohan Radha, Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Radha, Govinda Radha, Govinda Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Grandha ki, all assembled devotees ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. So any questions? Anybody has any different expectations? What's happening here? Are you all okay with how it is being conducted? Hare Krishna. All elders behind. Anything else? Any comments? It will take Prabhuji. Yes. Actually, Bhagavad Gita, when Bhagavad Gita is being discussed, 10 people with bombs, 10 people with bombs should stand here and there. Then we'll have that feeling. This is too comfortable situation to discuss Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? Mat is there, nice breeze is there, right? But for a change, we all have come out of our house, a nice park scene. I didn't arrange for all of this. So yesterday night's party. So is the venue okay, by the way? The venue is nice, comfortable, too windy. Yeah, thoda to austerity lena padega na. Should feel little bit of Kurukshetra somewhere. Anyway, in the houses, all Kurukshetras are going on. Here, a little different kind of Kurukshetra. So I humbly request everyone to, please encourage your husbands to come also. I see a lot of Matajis, husbands have not come. If they're not coming, stop cooking for them, they'll come. Very simple, everything is in your hands. You know how to torture them anyway. So if your wives have not come, please buy them something nice, take them around, do whatever, sell your house, buy them jewelry, whatever you do, right? But bring them here. See, the point is the whole family should be here. When the whole family is here, the enjoyment of spiritual life is more, right? I know some people say, I don't like spirituality, I don't like religion. But religion is not the way it is shown. This is religion. Do you see anything wrong happening here? Nothing, right? We are all sitting down and learning together. Even I am learning. If somebody asks a question, I don't know an answer, I'll have to go and learn. I have to go and ask my Siksha Guru, what is the answer for this, right? So it's a learning exercise that we all go through. So we'll go through chapter by chapter, verse by verse. Goal is not, as I said, perfect Sanskrit or any focus on. A lot of people have a lot of apprehension about reading Sanskrit. That's the reason I'm saying it. Don't think that we are here to learn 700 verses. But yes, we have to learn some verses. I'll tell you 108 verses out of 700 that you should learn. I'll tell you the numbers of those verses also. And you learn also, it's very easy. And I'll tell you how to learn. There is a nice technique that you can learn. But what that will do is you'll feel nice that you have learned something. And also encourage your friends, neighbors to come and join. Because we want a society where we learn good values and, from Bhagavad Gita. And you also tell others. And I request you to write notes, because a lot of things are being discussed. For example, Kurukshetra, I told 2 points today. So you can underline that. There itself, write it down. Krishna doesn't mind you writing in a scripture. This is scripture, Bhagavad Gita is scripture. But when you start writing your notes, if you look at my Bhagavad Gita, it will be like this. You see that? Whenever I hear from my Siksha Guru, I write my notes. And these notes are like jewels, right? There is a beautiful, this is Krishna, the book is Krishna, and you're putting jewels on him, right? When you write notes, like putting jewels on him. That's what my Guru Maharaj told me. Never hesitate to write notes on the scripture. Why? Because tomorrow, if somebody is asking you, what did you learn? You can open this. Looking at the notes only, will run away. Isn't it? You can tell, oh, see, so many things I've learned. And you can also explain somebody nicely, na? Somebody has asked, hey, what did you learn today? Immediately you can go, Kurukshetra, 2 points were told. Mamaka Pandava, this also was told. Kimmakuruta Sanjaya. You can tell all the whole story. How it finally boggled down to a point where, how was Bhishma brought down? And why is it the 9th day of Gita Jayanti? Gita Jayanti is celebrated. in Margasira Mas. So many points we discussed, you can write notes here. Instead of having a separate notebook, you can as well write in the same Gita itself. It's also good to have a separate notebook, but just keep these notes and you'll be, yes, Mother, you have a question? Yeah. Sorry, not 9th day, 11th day. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's 11th day. I'm sorry. Big mistake. But anyway, so 11th day it is. Bhishma was brought down on the 11th day. Yeah? Tenth day, or let me get back to you tomorrow because it's been a while. I revised it. I'll go back and revise and get back. Okay. Oh. Karna and then done. Hare Krishna. So I'll get back to the exact day. And by the way, Gita Jayanti is also coming. It's coming on December 3rd. 4th or 3rd? 4th? Okay. And if that is the day you all are available, we can come to the very same place and read the entire Gita in one single day. It takes 3 hours. How many have done that exercise anytime in the past? Yeah. The whole translations you can read, all the chapters, 18 chapters, we sit in a circle, we finish the entire Gita in 3 hours. You will get a glimpse of all the chapters. What is Krishna speaking in all the chapters? I'll announce that. That will be one extra session than what we are doing here. Get a glimpse of entire Gita on a very auspicious day, Gita Jayanti. Yeah. And I'll get back to you on the day. I'm sorry, I completely missed it. But it is the day on which Gita was explained by Sanjaya to all of us. Gita was revealed to all of us. And that is the day we celebrate Gita Jayanti. Any other questions anybody has? Yeah. So everybody, I recommend 2 things. As I said, please follow the pattern everybody is following, is supposed to follow. There is basics of Bhagavad Gita. Please take that book. I brought it from the temple. There's no extra money I'm putting there. It's just 100 rupees I bought, 100 rupees I'm keeping it there. And this Bhagavad Gita is 200 rupees each. Have individual copies and write your name here. See, I've written my name here. Lilanandas, right? And my wife wrote on the top. And there is this, on all sides I write it. I don't want to miss my Bhagavad Gita anywhere. This is my Bhagavad Gita, right? So write it down, take your own personal copy. And there is basics of Bhagavad Gita, that is also. And chanting bags, I'll get more next week. You all can have. Some of the attendees who registered, they told this week they're not here. Next week they'll be coming. So maybe some more people will come. Are you comfortable to sit here? Is the space good enough? Maybe another 10 might join. My humble request is don't miss the classes. So you will miss the rhythm, what we discussed last week. Just Sunday, we'll stop exactly at 9:45, something like that. And you all can disperse have breakfast and leave. And breakfast prasadam is being made by one devotee who lives near Narsingi. And we offer it to Krishna. And then it comes, it is bhoga offered to Krishna and prasadam coming here. Please honor prasadam. Don't leave without honoring prasadam. And if you want, you can contribute to the prasadam. Not this week, next week. This week is already contributed to my father. So next week, we all can pull together little and it keeps going on, right? That's the whole idea. So any other questions anybody has? Yeah, we are all good? Hare Krishna. So let's honor prasadam now. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Prabhuji, you have a question? Sorry. Yes, I will post it. I'll put it in YouTube. Nobody, it's almost like a private channel mine. I'll send the link in that WhatsApp group. How many are not there in a WhatsApp group? Can you lift your hand? Relating to this, you're all there? Great. Okay. Hare Krishna.